Hey everybody, Ned here. I am currently in DC at the Rail Nation conference, but I wanted to share with you all some footage that I took last month while I was making my way to DC for the US High Speed Rail meeting at the German Embassy. I came from Lexington, Kentucky, and my plan was to take the Cardinal, but unfortunately, with the current scheduling and limited service, it would have taken me about a week to get home from DC after getting to DC, and that's just not really something that's feasible. It's not a good use of association time or my time or our funding. So I took a little trip in my hybrid, drove from Lexington to DC, stopping at a number of the train stations in West Virginia along the way. So take a look at the adventures that we've had, stay tuned for future videos, and thank you for all of your support. In rural advocacy, it's so important to consider places like this. It's so important to think about outside of the Northeastern Corridor, not the West Coast, but the rest of us who live, work, and play here in the heartland of the United States. And so I want to challenge each of you who support our mission to reach out to your elected officials. There are people whose feet need to be held to the fire to advance what transit can be in this country. And it takes all of us stepping up to support passenger rail as the preliminary method of national interstate travel. It just seems crazy to me that I can't make it from, Cincinnati or Indianapolis or Ashland to DC in like a reasonable time frame. When I looked at potentially taking this trip out of Cincinnati, it leaves in the middle of the night. And that is true for so many of these small towns, not just along the Cardinal, but also at the Southwest Chief, like with the Lakeshore, with the Sunset. And so advocating for Daily Cardinal and Daily Sunset is something that we wanted to make sure was baked in to our advocacy. And I'm really excited to see this become a daily route. But it really also raises the question, why aren't we doing double the frequency on daily routes, period? Like, how do we effectively advocate and get the right people involved to push for a service that is more reliable, that is more frequent, that is dependable, that comes when it needs to come? And, obviously on-time performance is such a big part of that. The host railroads are such a big part of that. But we are so close to getting there. And the more that we work together, the more that we stay in touch, and the more that we passionately contact our elected officials, that we are informed professional advocates, the greater that advocacy grows and the more people it reaches. And I want to, follow along with these towns and make some recommendations, places to go, things to do to support a more thriving economy. There is no reason that Ashland, Kentucky can't be like Meridian, Mississippi, can't be like Tucson. There are places all along these tracks that would truly thrive, that would have such a revitalization of local economy if they had that hometown connection that we've seen grow in places like Virginia, the Gulf Coast restoration. And, there's so much potential for Appalachia to become one of those. And so I'm going to make the case over the next few days and share my thoughts with you guys, and we'll see where it takes us. Tens of thousands of Americans get on board these stations, between Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. And because the service is only 3 times a week, it means that these people are critically missing out, We need to be able to get to universities, to hospitals. It's not just about the NEC. It's not just about the land cruise passengers. But I believe everybody deserves a right to have that freedom of mobility, to be able to get where they need to go, to do what they need to do, and create a better connected America, especially for our rural communities. And if this is a message that you support, please support us. railpassengers.org/donate. Hop on, let us know your thoughts, drop a donation, join if you're interested in advocating and joining into the work that we're doing. And make sure you follow us along on social media as well, @railpassengers. All that to say, I'll see you on the train.